Dear students, today we will talk about damped oscillations. Damped oscillations. We know that when simple harmonic motion or oscillation takes place, the amplitude of this oscillation dies down with time. So we say that amplitude dies down with time. And why does it happen? Because there are some resistive forces which play their part, because of which the amplitude of the oscillation dies down and finally this motion comes to a stop. For example, if we talk about the simple pendulum, and when we set it in oscillatory motion, there are certain resistive forces. For example, the frictional force due to air. Frictional force. They play a resistive part. They oppose this motion. Therefore, a time comes when this pendulum, the motion of this pendulum comes to a halt. It stops because the amplitude dies down with time. So, such oscillations are called as damped oscillations. Now, in case of a simple pendulum, we have already said that the restoring force F is proportional to the displacement, but it acts along the negative direction. That is, it acts along the direction of opposite to the direction of increasing displacement. So this restoring force Fr is equal to minus kx, and k is the force constant. Now there is another resistive force which I am talking about, that is frictional force due to air, and you should remember that all frictional forces are proportional to velocity. Frictional forces are proportional to velocity, that is, they are proportional to dx by dt. And because frictional forces or resistive forces also oppose the motion, therefore we also give them a negative sign. We know that restoring forces oppose the motion of pendulum, and so do the frictional forces. They oppose the motion of the pendulum. That is why we assign this negative sign. They act opposite to the direction of increasing displacement, right? So this frictional force will be written as Ff, for example, is equal to some another constant, say b dx by dt. Therefore, what is the total force? Total force is F restoring plus F frictional, that is minus kx minus b dx by dt. And how do we write force? Total force, it is mass into acceleration, that is m d square x by dt square. And how can we write this expression finally? D square x by dt square plus b by m dx by dt plus k by m x is equal to 0. So this is the differential equation of damped oscillation, as simple as that, right? So I hope you have understood what I have done here. I have taken these factors to this side, so they become plus, and simultaneously I have divided by m throughout. So we get this expression, and this is the final expression for damped oscillations, right? Now we can make certain substitutions. For k by m, we know that we can put omega square. K by m is equal to omega square, where omega is the angular frequency. You have already done that. So b by m is another constant. B is a constant, m is a constant. So b by m will be another constant. So we will substitute d square x by dt square plus 2p. For b by m, I am writing another constant, that is 2p. And in the future steps, you will try to get why did we introduce this factor of 2, right? I could have simply written a constant c or p, but I have chosen to write it as 2p, which you will understand in a few minutes. So this is dx by dt plus omega square x is equal to 0. Now, the solution of this equation, this is a differential equation, will be written as x is equal to a e to the power alpha t. You have done these kinds of differential equations before. So we can also express the solution of a differential equation in the exponential form and not just in the cos and sine form. So we have a free choice. We have a lot of choices. So let us differentiate this x. It is dx by dt is a alpha e to the power alpha t. That is differentiated again because we need d square x by dt square also. So that is a alpha square e to the power alpha t. And now let us substitute these values in the main equation. So for d square x by dt square, we are going to write a alpha square e to the power alpha t plus 2p a alpha e to the power alpha t. And what was the last factor? The last factor is this omega square x. So that is omega square. A is again a e to the power alpha t is equal to 0. So all I have done is that I have put these factors here, these substitutions here. So what do I get? So I get, so I can take out this a alpha, not a alpha, but a e to the power alpha t as common. So what remains inside is alpha square plus 2p alpha plus omega square. This is equal to 0. Obviously, this is not 0. Then what is 0? Alpha square plus 2p alpha plus omega square is equal to 0. This is a quadratic equation in terms of alpha. So its roots will be given by alpha is equal to minus b. What is minus b? Minus 2p plus minus b square, that is this, 4p square minus 4ac, that is 4 omega square by 2a. What is a? 1. So with this 2 we can divide throughout. So the two roots are alpha 1 is equal to minus p plus p square minus omega square, and alpha 2 is equal to minus p minus p square minus omega square. So this should also give you an idea that why did we introduce a factor of 2p there, because we are able to cancel it out here. And it doesn't make a much difference because 2 is also a constant. If p is also a constant, 2p is again a constant, right? So because this helps us to cancel out this 2 with the denominator, and we are left with a much simpler expression. That is the reason that we have introduced a factor of 2p here and not simply p, right? So this is the differential equation of damped oscillations. The only modification that we have done in the basic equation is that we have also added a factor of frictional forces due to air, and we have added that frictional forces are proportional to velocity. Then we have obtained this kind of equation, differential equation. For such kinds of equations, the solutions are given by this manner. So we substituted this and we obtained the two roots of the equation like this, alpha 1 and alpha 2. Now different cases may arise that if p square is greater than omega square, then it is the case of heavy damping. Another thing may be that this p square is equal to this omega square. This is the case of critical damping. And another thing is that this p square may be less than omega square. This is the case of light damping, right? So in case of heavy damping, the pendulum or the body does not easily return to its mean position after disturbance, but in these two cases it does return, and here it takes a lesser time to return to its original position. So this is a simple preliminary basic idea, introductory idea about damped oscillations. That's all.